point if I had to go back to the draft and choose one thing. But game one's over. Spider Queen, of course, Tempest having the win. They had some great macro control though from Miracle also. Even after 12-13 minutes, they were kind of leading in macro, but they started dropping those gems. That was a big problem. They couldn't really engage, even though they had some pokes. But here we go. Game number 2. Sky Temple it is by, of course, I think Miracle right now with Phoenix. First pick has a lot more power in the draft.
Oh, absolutely. Because you get to pick, you get to choose which hero you're going to get in the first pick no matter what. You except Phoenix, you're not going to get that one. But besides Phoenix, you choose any hero you want, and you're going to get them. Or you're going to get Phoenix. Let's watch this, right? Let's find out what hero Miracle wants. They banned the Medivh, so they're saying, we're not taking Medivh, and we're not going to get Phoenix. They can first pick the Malfurion now. They can first pick the Garrosh. They can first pick Genji. They can first pick Hanzo.
Ooh. Phoenix banned. It's going to stay. Last time Tempest had Tracer ban. That's why Medivh was open. But in this case, Sky Temple, Maiev. Let's go back to history. And Tempest, they had a pretty bad team fight in the second Temple phase where you have to go all the way to the bottom and there's that small choke point, and that's about time where your entire team hits double 10. Ooh, instead, going to be Genji though.
Let's see if Tempest wants to grab the Maiev now that it's open. We saw Maiev Garrosh come through in a similar draft with Blossom earlier on Tempest Spider Queen, but this is a little bit tougher to pull off the Maiev pick. You're further away from your team. Before the numbers nerfs to Maiev, I feel like she would have been great on every map, including this one, but this map it's a lot tougher to get early game value out of the Umbral Bind and get early kills. And you're really looking for that 10 plus to really find the combos. So if they want to grab the Maiev, I think the best way to do it is to grab it with a Junkrat here. Because then you can, or with the Stukov even, then you can just control the rest of the draft around the Maiev. But if you grab it now with just like a Garrosh, then you leave counter potential play open in the draft by Miracle. So let's see. Might just simply be more common picks. Might be the Malfurion Garrosh. They might feel like that's the better way to shut down the Genji. Just move away from the Maiev. And that is what they are going to pick.
Even though Sign does not really like to play Garrosh, even though she's super meta, only played it once, surprisingly. Played a lot of ETC on Uberok. Going to be Garrosh, very good for against Genji. We saw basically why Garrosh is so good. Genji was caught in that taunt twice, died twice. That's simple. You get the hard CC when you dive in, and then you focus fire. Easy kill before that protection, by the way, comes in, of course. But having the perfect counters against the Genji, Garrosh might be pretty good for Tempest. But hey, I have a feeling that lots of Korean teams, not just picking Maiev, that doesn't always work. Make sure you have the right CC, right teammates along with her. I think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the cool thing about this combo in particular is it's high tier. You see it picked against every type of first pick, except the Malfurion first pick, obviously. Because these two heroes make it so much easier to work together. A ground breaker makes it easier to root. A root makes it easier to ground breaker. If you could hit one of either of those things, you could set up a lot of combos. You could completely shut Genji down. And he can only defend himself. You can only deflect for so long. Muradin pick here is really interesting. They've drafted a Sonya as well, so the Muradin is to help protect the Sonya against Malthael, which I don't think we'll see banned actually because they picked the Muradin. And he's obviously very good at contesting and stealing shots on the bottom temple because there's a Muradin bush there where you can escape.
They're also thinking of Uther very likely, so receiving less heal, which should be going into the DPS.
I'm a little bit surprised we don't see the Uther ban here actually. Let's see if my thoughts on this are correct, because the Muradin was specifically picked a lot of the time in the Sonya matchups where she was losing to Thrall. That was actually the most common one, Zagara as well, in the old times when that was a matchup. Are they going to ban the Malthael here, or are they going to ban something else? They're going to ban solid DPS. That's the big question. You ban the Malthael, you also leave Dahaka open, so...
Hanzo?
I think Hanzo's the safest ban. They banned the Dahaka, they're afraid about the rotations. And they also, I think, want the Malthael pick. They'll, like, pick it. We got the Murden. We have the answer. It's not going to be a Malthael that has Uther backing him up this time either. So Malthael won't be able to just pop a Tormented Souls, fly in front of cannon towers, and kill everybody.
And also there's no Medivh. So it will be a different situation in this game. And when on this map, you do want to kind of look for that global. Deaka's out from the draft now. Do you really go towards the other path of having a Falstad? Tracer?
Tassadar? I don't think so.
We saw a lot. I think that's only for the last series, previous series. Can pair up, but that's a lot of... It's the 4-man. The rotation will be very slow on this map.
Yeah, you can't really do it on this map. I think we have to see something like a Grey main here. Falstad, okay. Good for the boss. Control. A tried and true Tempest pick. Interesting the Tracer Malfurion used to like this, but can work. If they grab a Tyrael, it's really rough to control the top lane against Sonya, but it does weaken the Muradin pick, and it means that you have total boss control forever. As long as you get 10 first, you will like own every boss you try to challenge. That's something that we could see. A rarer, older style of play, but absolutely possible.
And if Tempest picks something like a Blaze, and they will have even more. Even Tyrael, very low chance. A lot more for Blaze as a solo. Against Sonya, not really too bad. I think better than Malthael in that way.
I think definitely better than a Malthael pick. The Blaze here, good for boss control in the same way that Tyrael is. Obviously a little bit less effective at completely nullifying the boss, but they left the Uther open. It's going to be taken here to empower the Genji. It powers the Sonya. We have that old school ballistics comp here with the Abathur. Abathur can clone Muradin and will definitely have that opportunity. Blaze is going to be the last pick here. Clone Genji's very strong against Falstad. Decent against Tracer. Falstad's going to have a hard time staying alive.
Yeah, the deflect will do so much damage if Tracer does not stop those auto attacks. But they have Blaze, so they have a lot of sustain with the bunker. That's post 10 though. Abathur also acting as a global can be a pretty effective tool. Miracle not really a team that runs Abathur at all. Maybe a few times back in last year, 2017. But I think this may be their first time or second time in 2018.
It's been a while, G-Clef. Let's find out if this Genji clone comp can find a way to kill the backline post 10, or is the boss control that Tempest has and the global going to just totally zone them out of experience, lead to the snowball lead. So we watch the blue core form here.
Snake.
A little Cobra.
Snake.
Kind of reminds me of the Cobra.
Well, Abathur, 0-2 from Miracle. And it is, we do have a support called Uther along with Abathur, so, and we're Korea.
Does that Cobra remind you of Jafar from the first Aladdin?
Oh. You're going all the way
Can see
back
how
to Disney.
snake-like I can be.
By the way, the Aladdin game from Windows 97 back in those times.
Oh my god.
That was like the hardest game ever made. I could never beat that game.
I remember my neighbors had Jungle Book, and that game was hard for me when I was like 6 years old. The Lion King game, though, I recently purchased that and beat it. It's not that hard.
The old classic one?
The Super Nintendo one.
That wasn't too hard.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy. Like, I bought it because it was one of the only Disney Super Nintendo games I didn't play, and I was like, I gotta beat this, and then I did. It was actually pretty easy. It gets crazy for a second there, but like, as long as you can do some platforming, you're fine.
You're old enough, Wolf, now
Yeah.
to beat those games.
I'm old enough. That's right.
You're mechanically skilled. Your fingers are much better.
Well, I feel like I was at my peak a few years ago, though. Still good enough to beat Lion King, though. I got it.
Never made it to pro, though.
Never made it to pro.
Almost like this close.
Yeah,
right?
I was so close.
No,
you know.
stop lying, Wolf.
Nah, I beat Lion King, though.
Like, which pro? Like Diablo 2?
Look, I just like...
Three?
Jacob, I play RPG games, so I'm really good at them.
Okay.
Because they don't require mechanical skill, I just have to think a lot, you know? And like, click like attack and then select enemies. Well, let's take a look at the macro here. We have traded camps at the moment. Faster camp timing for Sonya, obviously, versus the Tracer, Blaze, and even Malfurion being committed to rotation. This allows Dami to build a Pulse Bomb. Abathur's body soaking top, so Miracle gets an experience lead from this. We'll be able to escort this better. They're also grabbing a kill in, or they were looking for a kill in the bot lane. They're pushing this hard. Looks like Genji probably dashed over the wall.
That's a friendly Genji there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I can't explain that to you guys.
Me neither.
I mean, he died to the cannon tower. That's all we know, or the fort.
I'm guessing he was just Garrosh threw him inside and not protected. And could not swift over.
Yeah, I guess that's
could not agility over for some reason.
He probably dashed too close to Garrosh, so couldn't dash back, and then he got thrown over. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Well, CC chain here on the good. Blaze is pretty sustainable, but
sustain the Pulse Bomb, not enough damage. But this is a 3v4, and meanwhile, Falstad is pushing the bot lane.
Yeah,
they're winning this matchup too.
Well, because Genji was dead, there was no threat, and they were able to win this top push. Find some more experience because Falstad's bottom. Abathur's body soaking mid, but it's not quite the same because that gives you experience, but it doesn't give you structural damage. Whereas Lockdown's about to start doing some real damage to this wall. And if he can kill the healing well before the next temple phase, that would be massive. Stun committed to here, but it's Sonya we're talking about. Not going to be the Pulse Bomb target Dami was looking for. That's the Pulse Bomb target that he chose, but... in the post-game stats, it'll be a little bit padded by that, that damage he just
a little bit extra damage.
Yeah.
Starting from that moment on, but they can't really contest for 4-man here. They're getting the other temples soaked. Sign taking a lot of damage, but it's a good trade. Meanwhile, Falstad, all this time, has been pushing. So, guess what? After this temple phase, if you don't think about the next one, you will be having that lead because you had a lot more. You didn't really get the healing fountain, but still a great push. I believe all the wars are down by now.
The wall's completely down. I think the healing fountain is damaged. Oh, good threads the needle on that charge. We'll be able to escape. As you can see, the healing fountain is just slightly damaged. Lockdown looks at the flight, and he gets it. That's all I had to say about that. Gunza looking for that extension. He has the dash.
Genji? It's possible.
Yeah, he already used the deflect, so I would have been okay with it. I was kind of on in agreement with you there. Maybe we could have tossed it. Maybe he didn't have it quite before that. I did not check. We can still tell when Tracer has her heroic in this game. The other ones on this patch, but I'm sure that'll get fixed soon. As I said last week, it's been kind of a fun challenge to keep track ourselves. Heroics are up.
We can kind of tell from the timing.
Yeah.
Of how long the cooldown will be, but we can't really know exactly when it's like below 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Has been pretty tough task for us to keep up with that. But so far, Miracle not really falling too far behind because they have Abathur, even though they committed a lot with the 4-man rotation on top.
Okay, this is a bad place to fight. Good does not hit the CC though. This could have been amazing for Miracle with the root and the stun connected there after that groundbreaker. Doesn't happen. They've got total control over this area right before the next temple phase, so they will very likely finally get this healing fountain completed. And by completed, I mean killed, destroyed. Temple phase up in 30. They're going to save it. Just barely.
And also Falstad saving that flight was contested by Genji, so had to hard back home.
He's looking for that level 10. They could try to make a boss play. Look at the position of everyone on Tempest.
Mule.
Yep, they get scouted.
From Abathur. They're trying to draw this one out to a longer game.
Very good on this map.
The spot lockdown.
Oh, misses him with the shurikens.
Look at the damage from the Abathur. One more Q.
Deflect kills him. Gunza will get out. Oh, never mind. Tracer.
Did Tracer even do 1 damage? I guess
yeah,
she did
I think
because
she got the last
kill.
shot. Yeah, she got the last shot there. This actually prevents Tempest from doing a boss play right now.
But
Miracle has
Falstad can always fly in. I think it's a win for Tempest.
Oh, it's definitely still a win for Tempest, but like they can't get the boss now at least. That's the one thing Miracle's got going for him.
That's right, Genji comes back. Can't, not really contesting as we talk about the sustain. It is there certainly for Tempest, but lacking damage as Tracer is still wave clearing the top, the mid, and Falstad taking care of the camp here.
So the reason why Malfurion's thinking about Tranquility is when you have the clones there, obviously the Tranquility can really help mitigate what you can do in terms of damage after the abilities are on cooldown, because just auto attack sure does a lot, but not going to do too much there. But if it's a big heavy dive, sometimes the Twilight Dream can help deal with the clone as well, and you can just shut everything down, prevent those abilities from being used in the first place, but save your Falstad. And there's obviously the combos we talked about earlier that you were mentioning with the Gust into big Twilight Dreams. I lean towards the Twilight Dream, especially because it's going to give you so much more boss control, but both options are viable against this composition that really only has one quote-unquote DPS that's cloned.
Yeah, I think it's the Eminem moment that we like to call it.
Yeah.
If you see a real Genji dive in, then why don't you just pair up with the taunt, silence right after, that means a dead Genji. Very likely, so just have that thinking. Or if you're losing the long, drained team fight for a long time, you can just pick that Tranquility and try to sustain it out.
This Mule is getting massive value on this fort, by the way, making it more difficult for Tempest to come through. Dami even eating a fort shot there. They're eventually going to burn through and get this. While Falstad is meanwhile soaking mid, Abathur is not body soaking. So much extra macro control with Tempest right now. Okay, they're going to look to start the boss. Well, at least they were for a second. Unless that was lockdown killing a mine, I'm not sure. It looked like he was about to auto-attack the boss. Just zoning around this boss, threatening it, forcing Miracle to respawn and rotate, while continuing to have this bot push. Look at where the bot wave is, already towards the keep wall, so they're just going to draw more attention away from mid now. Just picking this map apart.
As an Abathur, you really have to think about the macro. You can still move around the lane and try to be on the opposite side, most likely. But so far, I believe it's Sniper who's playing that Abathur. Has been staying in that mid lane forever. Of course, the bottom one's pushed, so it'll be very far behind if you want to stay there. You can always climb up and make that wave a little bit more powerful. That's another way of playing Abathur. Oh, they're losing both, so has to contest this. Origin comes in, gets some CC'd.
Oh, Pulse Bomb. Stun does connect here. Pulse Bomb connects with H82. Here's the clone,
Sniper.
But it's totally shut down right now. This is the right choice of Tranquility here. Doesn't get the dive, doesn't get the fight they're looking for. And if straight up 5v5 like this, where Falstad's in good positioning, or just isn't in the lane at all, you're going to have a good time with this. Bunker just a second too late. Going to go for the Gust here, but Tranquility does come up. They're going to try to out-sustain this fight now. H82, whirlwinding away. Barrel roll, helping to protect lockdown, but it's not actually going to be enough. I feel like this was a little bit disjointed on the side of Tempest. Stun here. Pulse Bomb connects again, the second one of the fight. They are going to look to chase this, perhaps. Remember, no bot fort, so Dami has free reign to chase.
Has to be careful. There's the Abathur. Can come in anytime, burst damage, and also heal in this way. In this type of build that Abathur is going right now. So they can actually, they have been doing okay in the sustain war. That's why Tranquility seemed like the perfect choice. Miracle was doing the same thing. They kind of have a double support on their own.
Yeah. In a sense, yeah. It makes it very difficult to deal with some of these heroes that are normally caught. You can catch them or you can outrun them. It just becomes... They become so much more sustained, they have more attack speed. It's very frustrating. Another pulse connects with the Muradin here.
That was a weird rotation by Lockdown.
Ooh, that Gust fails.
If this becomes a kill.
Okay, Gunza gets slowed here by the fort. He should go down, he's already used his dash. Oh man, they chased. I cannot even believe.
They were trying to save Genji?
This is a huge mistake by Miracle. It's going to cost them big after such a good trade too. Oh, that's going to be the first boss of the game.
Guys, like, you know this happened, but always leave your Genji if he overcommits. Do not follow him. And I think Miracle is going to regret that move big time. This was basically a game set now for Tempest because of those 2 kills. Or 3.
Well, this boss is going to threaten the keep directly. The keep wall has already been heavily damaged. I'm going to go ahead and prep this wave as well. They're going to have Siege Giants with it. They don't have a ton of Siege with Falstad Tracer as the DPSs, and obviously Blaze doesn't do a lot of damage to structures, so this is defendable completely. But it is going to be very annoying to deal with because Lockdown is spreading into the mid lane now to just further the soak lead. And the boss is going to do all the tanking that they need. And if they try to commit out to look for picks, Lockdown, look at where he is. He can actually gust everyone into the wall, and then just they can have a taunt combo with that.
Cologne, I think, used a little bit too early. There's the Cologne diving in, but gone already.
Completely wasted there, unfortunately. Now Lockdown has no fear of positioning. He's going to just be very aggressive. This keep is definitely going down. And Miracle, if they make any mistakes trying to continue to defend it, they're going to lose more than just the keep. In fact, Tempest wants to threaten this fight. They want to force it. Judy's going to get caught here by the boss stun. So much damage. The pulse comes in, but there's the Divine Shield. Bunker just going to try to outlast this. Lockdown continues to do damage. The boss is on the core. Groundbreaker connects with HGC2. Pulls away with the Ancient Spear, but it does not matter. We do see Good come in and secure that kill. The core is going down. So much damage here for Falstad on the auto attacks. Judy just trying to prevent these Siege Giants from doing further damage.
They still have so much damage. 5 men alive, and that's another dead Genji there.
Pulse bomb available. Jaehyun
going
gonna
so
get blown up.
And that's going to be core, guys. Tempest leading 2-0 now. Miracle having a big struggle, making some weird decisions, throwing at past 10 minutes, I think. They're back to their old Miracle plays.
Yeah. Struggling there in the mid game. Sky Temple gets completely blown wide open by that good team fight there.
And that was their first pick, Genji. First pick. When there was Maiev open, Hanzo open, there were a lot of the other strong heroes, top S-tier heroes.
Maiev, Genji, Hanzo are all left available. Malfurion. Let's take a look at the stats here. Dami does 40k. Gunza ends up 2 and 4 with only 23,000 hero damage.
Do you see that number at the bottom?
Sniper?
Sonya with less than 9k hero damage. That rarely ever happens.
Yeah, that's like when people yell at you in Hero League. Abathur did a lot. Obviously the clone is very powerful and can rack up a lot of damage for you. Sniper controlling a lot of the macro, having top siege damage as well, but just need to be on the same page. The Muradin pick as well, 0 deaths here for Judy. It's not an OJ moment by any means, but they just could not actually utilize this hero to help lock down picks. Dragon Blades were not effective, clones were not as effective as they should have been. Dami, his pulse bombs are why he has 40k damage. He probably wasted a lot of those on the Muradin.
Yeah, but most of them went to the Muradin's number, 40k, 47k right there. Just soaking up lots of pulse bomb, but not really. He was waiting for the right moment when he had the chance, but when he was ready to waste, when he knew there was not going to be a big fight in the next minute, he just threw that onto Muradin. And getting that high number, he never died also. So I think he played a decent Tracer in that way.
Yeah, it was overall solid. A lot of pulse bombs to threaten the Muradin, force the team to retreat. Maybe some of those could have been saved where where the team was retreating, he just throws a pulse bomb into an 80% health Muradin. Muradin's like, you know, I'm gonna regen this and faster than took you to build this pulse bomb by a large margin. But a few weird moments there, but overall the Tracer play was good. Did threaten a lot, did not die. It was very careful on the Tracer. The big opening moment for Tempest to really swing away with this game was when the Genji flew over the wall to
the bottom lane,
kills.
yes, the T-Tours moment. And that really started everything, and Gunza, I believe Gunza played Genji.
Yeah, he was 2 and 4.
Very aggressive. He has been caught so many times, and I think that might have led them to a loss in game number 2. Miracle, I think maybe they need to adjust a little bit, as Gunza is the DPS, of course. Maybe he's having some hard time adjusting to multiple heroes. Like, he has to play a different hero in game 1 and game 2, but sometimes you just have to adapt and play safe.
Well, that's going to do it for our first 2 maps. We're going to have a short break before we